Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name's Laura and today we're doing another pick a card reading, and this time if you selected this video, you are finally ready to hear something very important from your higher self and your spirit guides. So I just want to ask you guys to subscribe if you have not already. We just hit 10,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Let's make that 20,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. Is that too ambitious? It's been a long time coming, guys. Anyways, I just wanted to show my appreciation for that, and I invite you to get a personal reading one-on-one with me, especially when it comes to anything that's this general reading is going to bring up. We can go more in depth with that one-on-one. So the link to that is down below. Take a look at all three groups on screen and see whichever one you feel most drawn to. This is definitely one of those readings where some of you might feel drawn to more than one group, or maybe even all three groups, and that's fine. We have group number 1 with the Howlite stone. We have group number 2 with the Afghanite, and we have group number 3 with the Amazonite. Just listen to your intuition, and whichever group pulls you in, that's your reading. Remember, this is a general reading, so take what resonates from it and leave anything that doesn't, because anything that doesn't resonate, it's meant for somebody else, not for you. Okay, sometimes these readings can feel really personal, like you're getting a one-on-one reading. Other times it may have a few messages, and other messages may not resonate. And then on a rare occasion, sometimes readings don't resonate at all, but usually that's a good sign too, because when something doesn't resonate, it still points you into the direction of what does resonate. And the whole point of these tarot readings is to really get you to listen to your own intuition at the end of the day, okay? If you're still selecting your group, pause now. Otherwise, let's begin. Hello, group number 1, and welcome. You guys selected the Howlite stone. This is one of my favorite stones, and it really helps you to calm down, and it eases tension, anxiety, all things mental health. I love taking this stone and just pressing it up against my forehead. It has a really calm and cooling effect. So it's kind of like when you need to calm down, this is the perfect stone to carry. Also, I noticed that whenever I carry this stone around, I tend to have luck, especially weirdly enough when it comes to manifesting real estate or perfect locations for events and things like that. So you have Awaz coming out in reverse, group number 1. And the symbol of Awaz, this is what it looks like upright, and it represents 2 horses pulling a carriage. And because there's 2 horses, they're able to go faster as opposed to if there was just one, right? So it really represents working together as a team and being totally in alignment with the people around you, and everything flowing easily. And because everything seems to be in alignment, things can move forward quite quickly. What you're finally ready to hear, group number 1, I think you're finally ready to admit and acknowledge that someone or something has been quite out of alignment with you for a while, and you have been trying to make this person see things from your perspective. Group number 1, I want to acknowledge that you have a really strong intuition, psychic abilities, and your perception of how the future is going to unfold is very, very accurate. And so when you saw this person acting in a way that is out of alignment for their good, for your good, for the greatest good of all, for their future, your future, you tried everything in your heart and soul to convince this person, like, hey, if you just did this, I promise you, life is going to be so much better. Life is going to be so much easier. This relationship is going to flow so smoothly. Like, why don't you just do this one thing? And it could be anything. Like, for example, you may be married to someone and they lead a very unhealthy life, and you're trying to live a very long and amazing life with them. So it may pain you to see them continuously make unhealthy choices. And you may have tried every which way in the book to convince this person that what they're doing is unhealthy or the actions they're taking is not good for them, but they just aren't seeing it. Now, this could also be, what I'm seeing here is someone who you were very close to, making a really bad decision, a really bad choice that brings them out of alignment with you, and it creates disharmony. Okay, you're finally ready to see that, because for a while you were holding on to hope that this person is going to change, they're going to see the light. And I just want to acknowledge, group number 1, that you are right. Like, the things you think will make them happy, the things that you know will make life unfold smoothly if they only did this, you are absolutely correct. Okay, I just want to acknowledge that you are absolutely correct. However, one fact of life is that you cannot change people. And actually, the funny thing is, well, it's not so funny, it's actually kind of annoying. The more you try to get somebody to see your perspective, the more you try to get somebody to make a decision and to make a change, the less likely they are to do it. Now, I want to acknowledge here that it's not your fault. If you have tried every which way to get this person to see the light, you pushed, if that pushed them away, I don't feel like you're responsible for them either walking away or making decisions that forces you guys to separate, okay? By simply just being a good friend or lover or whatever the heck you are and saying, hey, like, this is how things need to go if things are going to move smoothly. You didn't push this person away. This person pushed themselves away by being out of alignment with the highest vision, the greatest good of all. So that's not your responsibility, and there was nothing you can do. And you're ready to hear that. There was nothing you can do here. This person had to come to the conclusion on their own that their choices and actions were not in anyone's best interest, okay? What's unfortunate and what you're ready to hear now is that they have not come to that conclusion on their own. And I'm actually feeling that they are stubbornly set in choosing a path that is not serving anyone, especially themselves, though, which is the craziest part of it all. And so, yeah, for a long time, group number one, you were just, I don't want to say you were in denial. I think you were very aware of what was going on, but like you were holding on to hope so strongly that they would change, that things would change. And I think you're at a point today where you're sort of accepting the situation for what it is. And that's a very, very important step in the grieving process. Sometimes we have to grieve people while they're still alive. Sometimes we have to grieve situations that we thought would play out a certain way, but they didn't. There could be, it just overall represents that you're out of step with someone. And you may have really, really committed to someone. And if this is a romantic partner, I just want to give my utmost apologies because this is really, really difficult to deal with. But you may have been very, very committed to a course of action and a trajectory in a situation that did not have what it takes to be upheld. And it's not your fault that it didn't have what it takes to be upheld. It's the other person's fault that it didn't have to take, that this couldn't unfold. Your partner or the other person in this equation misjudged horrifically. And there was many things that they did not really factor you into. They didn't factor your thoughts, feelings, opinions in, how their actions affect you or the people around them. It really just feels like this person is so stuck in childhood, repetitive, toxic patterns. And a lot of what they do feels very unconscious, and how this is playing out, it feels extremely karmic, like they're choosing to continue down a karmic loop, and they have to get to the root cause of whatever trauma or pain from their childhood or their upbringing is causing them to continuously self-sabotage beautiful situations and choose a negative, repetitive cycle of addiction or toxicity or just totally something that's out of alignment. It doesn't serve literally anyone, and it's a shame. So yeah, let's see what your oracle is. Time to go. Yeah, this is really direct. I think you guys are finally at a place where you're realizing it's time to stop fighting for this. It's time to go. It's time to leave this person in their karmic, repetitive cycle and find peace and happiness again, because trying to make this work, holding on to that hope, has probably really, really hurt you. Yeah, here's the oracle message. You are at the end of one journey and have not begun the next. This is the moment to bless your experience thus far. Take stock of what you have learned. It's time to move on to new experiences and a new way of being. There is nothing left for you to do, be, or experience in your present circumstances. That's a really big message from Spirit, guys, okay? And I'm sending you so much love because this is really difficult, but I think you're ready to hear that there's nothing else that you can say to change this person's mind. There's nothing else you can do to get them to see things accurately. I was going to say your way, but your way honestly is quite accurate. Now, I am the first tarot reader who will be happy to give constructive criticism and call you out on your BS. And if you've been subscribed, you know that. I don't sugarcoat readings, but I really do feel like this is a situation where, like, yeah, you, and I also want to say your support system, your friends that you've told this situation to, like, they're all like, I just don't get how this person like still is choosing this sort of toxic cycle. Like, it's baffling. It's mind-boggling. And again, there's like nothing else for you to do here. Yeah, take the risk and move on. Even if you need to be in a transition for a time, your destiny is calling you. Your spirit guides and your ancestors are saying it's time to go home. And, you know, there may be a lot of uncertainty with that because, as mentioned, your next journey has not yet begun. And there's a lot of question marks, a lot of darkness, a lot of confusion around what's to come. And here's the relationship message. If this reading is talking about a relationship, this is going to be an important message for you. It's over. Or at the very least, the form this relationship has taken is no longer of service to you or the other person. This is the time of letting go, of knowing that the journey has come to its conclusion. That doesn't mean anything is lost. Although this card could speak to a breakup, drifting apart, or the end of a soul contract, remember the saying, if you love something, let it go. If it comes back, it's yours. If not, it never was, okay? And that's a really great mindset to be in if you're having a really hard time with attachment. You know, if it's meant to be, they will come back. And not waiting for them to come back, but just if that's what you have to say to yourself in order to walk away now, then by all means do it. Like, if that's going to get you to walk away now, then say that to yourself. If it's meant to be, it will be. If they are meant to come back right and correct, then they will. I can't control that anymore. It's out of my control. Endings are always a sign of new beginnings. If you want something deeper, walk away. Yeah, and here's the thing. It's like, no matter what happens, whether this person changes and comes back or whether they stay the same and you stay separated, nothing else is going to happen and proceed until you walk away. Like, if you want this person to come correct, you have to walk away first. Okay, does that make sense? This is not a promise that they're going to come back and they're going to change and they're going to suddenly see things from your perspective. But it is saying if they were to do that, if they were to go down that path, they have to lose you first. It's kind of like an addict, you know, and for some of you, this may be talking about an actual addiction. And I do want to say that toxic love is also an addiction as well. But, it's like when an addict cannot withdraw and heal and enter sobriety until they choose that they want to do it. You can explain to them until you're blue in the face how their actions are hurting you and everyone around them and themselves especially, and how they're making really stupid choices. Like, you can do that and explain every which way in every single language under the sun. If they don't want to change, they're not going to change. And what's interesting is actually when we do push people to make that change, I almost feel like they're less likely to change, because the natural human reaction is to push back when somebody's pushing us, right? It's only, and you see this if you've ever watched any show on like addiction, people don't choose to actually want to change until there are real consequences of their actions. And what that means is their family cutting them off, no longer being enabled, no longer having that safety net, no longer having that feeling in the back of their mind, oh, this person's going to accept me back into their heart even if I haven't changed. When that's all gone and they're left alone, that is when they truly sometimes make the decision to get back into alignment. So that process of walking away is required no matter what the future has in store for you. But there is deeper love on the other side of you walking away, whether that is with this person because they're going to show up right after they realize what they lost, or if that is you walking away and finding something way better. Okay, but it's time for you to go. That's what you're ready to hear. Now, if this has to do with career, money, anything like that, here's your message. This message is clear. The path you've been on with your work, creative projects, and business alliances have come to an end. You will not find success you desire by continuing with what is now in front of you. This is an auspicious sign because there is no choice that will benefit you other than risking stepping into the unknown. It is time to walk towards something new. This card also pertains to the more neutral concept of completion. You finished your tasks, and you can rest assured that this ending will open up a new powerful avenue of opportunity, even better than you can imagine. You have done all you can. Now trust that Spirit keeps the plan moving forward. Fortune requires you to conclude this chapter of your life. And remember that when you close one door, another opens. Absolutely. So I feel like very, very shortly after you finally admit and accept that this is over and it's time for you to walk away and move on because it's out of alignment with you, I feel like very shortly after, life's going to really pick up for you in a positive and quick moving way. And, especially if this is a relationship, I gotta say, it affects more areas of your life than you even realize. Like, your ability to stay focused on your goals probably has been pretty bad. Your desire to go out and socialize, probably pretty low. Mental health, just overall low. Motivation, low. And as a result, maybe you don't make as much money or you don't see as much growth as you wanted to in your goals, in your relationships, and all of the things that you're doing because you were too busy regulating yourself in this situation that was out of alignment for you. So you're getting all of that time and energy back to yourself once you leave, once you go. Wow. Okay. So let's see what wants to come out for the tarot. You have Ace of Cups. Yeah, a new beginning emotionally is going to happen. And what I'm seeing here with time to go walking away, you're going to have a lot more free time to really focus on your creative and career projects. Okay, more time to do anything with that. If you have a business, this is auspicious. It's like focusing on the creative projects that'll really let you take off in a massive amount of time. And this is what I'm saying, especially if this is a relationship, it's like you break out of this toxic situation and it's one of those scenarios where boom, your life really takes off. And it's what they say. They say that on social media a lot. It's like you can tell who the problem was in the relationship based off of who has a glow up after the relationship. It's like if a couple separates and one person suddenly becomes successful and happy and vibrant, usually that's because they were in a really toxic relationship that was holding them back. And guys, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I think you're going to be that one that's glowing up here and having these amazing, amazing life events really take off for you. Three of Swords. Yeah, look at that. Ace of Cups, Three of Swords. This was probably a really difficult, emotionally challenging relationship for you. Or partnership for you, and it feels like it started off with so much promise and love, and it's like this person really spoke to all of your desires in life and really said all of these things, filled your head, filled your heart with these visions of like what was to come, and they didn't have what it took to really sustain that, and that's really unfortunate. Three of Swords, it's gonna hurt, of course, but I feel like, with this being the after tarot and the swords being out and the bandage on, I feel like this ending has been very long drawn out. It may have had a lot of on and off, back and forth, indecision, and you've done a lot of mourning and crying probably these past few weeks, and I just want to acknowledge that that wasn't emotions wasted, okay? And you don't have to now repeat the mourning process again now that it's officially over. The work that you did there still counts. Okay. We have the World, yeah. An acknowledgement here. What you're ready to hear is like, I think you're finally in a place where you're ready to admit that this painful, yet beautiful, yet messy chapter is finally over. And you're ready to be seen for who you are. And like I said, like as a result of you admitting this isn't working, your life is really going to take off. I'm seeing a lot of success here. If you're in business or like an influencer or artist, entertainer of any kind, I am actually weirdly seeing that by freeing yourself from this heavy emotional weight, it's weirdly energetically tied to your success with being seen. And for a lot of you, this could be you walking away from a relationship where you didn't feel heard. You were trying to explain to this person how to be in alignment and move forward in the best way possible. They weren't listening to you. And that really sends the message to the universe, I'm okay with not being seen. So by finally walking away, you're saying to the universe, I'm not okay with not being seen. I'm not okay with being invisible. And boom, as a result, lots of visibility. Strength. Yeah, you're really strong. You are just really doing the most, okay? Really doing the most. We have the Knight of Wands, passion, creativity, sitting with your emotions, even if they're difficult, acknowledging. It's really hard to acknowledge a situation for what it is and stop the process of trying to convince someone to do something they're just simply not going to do. You're hopping off of that roller coaster and you're finding strength within. And I just really feel like a lot of different passionate, creative things in your life are about to really skyrocket and take off. Page of Wands in reverse. There's something here about a letter or some sort of written communication. Okay, there could have been something that you sent to someone, whether it be a text, a letter, something like that. Even like a warning message. I did that 2 times in my life. After a breakup, I sent... I dated this one guy who tried killing me twice. That's a long story. He immediately got a new girlfriend that he didn't tell anyone about, and I had known that he had cheated on her, and so I simply sent her a message. I'm like, listen, I don't want nothing to do with this man. I'm just letting you know, woman to woman, that he cheated on you, and also be careful because he tried killing me 2 times. You know. There's something here. I don't know why I shared that story with you. Maybe some of you guys are tempted to write something out, even if it's not sent. Sometimes like writing out all of your feelings to someone and even just burning it can be so cathartic. It's such a release. And another time, had a really messy breakup situation. Being polyamorous, it was very complicated. And so I sent a letter to a meta of mine, a meta being a partner's other partner. I'm not going to go into that because, you know, I don't want to hear it in the comments if any of you, whatever. But I don't know. There's something here about some sort of written communication being significant. We have the moon coming out in reverse. Yeah, so you may be very emotional, especially when it comes to, man, like what now? How am I going to survive? Like this really may have put you into survival mode and really like made you hit rock bottom. And by rock bottom, I mean like everything was stripped out of your life. Like your whole entire life may have completely been ripped out from underneath you, and it's like you're starting from complete scratch once again, and that may be very overwhelming. We have the 6 of Cups. You are loved. This will bring you closer to the people around you, so don't be afraid to reach out to them and get support from them. We have the 3 of Pentacles. Right underneath the World, yeah, guys, this is acknowledgement and success, especially in career and finances and visibility. This is you being really, really, I think your money is about to take off, honestly, and your career is about to take off amidst all of this. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles, like really seriously starting to see the results of your hard work and labor. We have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. There could be something here. You know, when I see the 8 of Pentacles in reverse in the After Tarot, to me, it's like you may actually be startled by how much career, work, business, and that area of life takes off as a result from you walking away from this relationship or partnership. And it may actually make you a little bit overworked. And so the next problem in your life then becomes, okay, well, I have to scale things differently. So that way a lot more of my income is passive or like manageable, or like I might need to even hire some people to help me out. That's what I'm seeing here. Like, and I know that's crazy. And for a lot of you guys, it's hard to imagine that because you may not make that much or may not have that level of success like anywhere remotely close yet, but you'd be shocked what big life changes and can do and how that can affect the rest of your life. And then we have the Ace of Wands in reverse, right underneath that Page of Wands in reverse. Something here, I'm getting an energy with the Page of Wands in reverse. I'm picking up a very resentful sort of vibe from someone outside of you. It's like they're walking away, and look at this, Page of Wands. This is the after tarot, right? They didn't want to commit. You know, that's the shadow element of the Page of Wands in reverse. They are immature. They don't want to commit to something that they promised, right? And so as a result, they're walking away from someone here, someone who's looking out after them. And this person's surrounded by feathers, it looks like. And they're looking at, like, to me, I get the vibe, like, this person back here would have given everything to this page. And the page was immature. Now they're walking away sad, bitter, resentful. Like, here's another thing I need to let you know. This person who's choosing to be out of alignment, they're going to hit rock bottom as a result. And, you know, that's nothing that you're doing. It's just karma. The universe doing its work. Like, the universe is saying, don't worry, group number one. Everything's going to even out here. And, you know, all of the pain and suffering and false promises and all of that this person put you through, they are going to very quickly realize that they should have listened to you. And yeah, that's all there is to it. I'm gonna leave your reading there. Thank you so much for joining me. Definitely, wow. I don't know if you heard that on the microphone. There was a really loud car that just did some weird noise. Anyways, I just got so distracted. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below. I'd love to hear your stories. And if you would like some further information on this, I'd be happy to do a personal reading for you, or Shamanic life coaching sessions, which is an hour-long personal reading every single week, and you don't have to make an appointment. You just send your questions for the week or what's going on, and I do a reading and send it back to you. Those are my main offerings right now. I also have an online tarot reading course if you want to learn how to read tarot like me and possibly even start your own tarot or spiritual business, okay? Thank you guys. Bye-bye. Hello, group number 2, and welcome. You guys selected the Afghanite stone, and this really connects you to your upper chakras, especially your crown chakra. So there could be a lot of truths that are like sort of downloading into your life right now, a lot of clarity. And those upper chakras are really being stimulated and open up. So what are you finally ready to hear? You have the rune Isa coming out. This is the ice rune. So this comes out when things are becoming, I don't want to say slow, because slow is not the right word. It's like when you suddenly have all of this time and all of this space to yourself due to whatever may be the case. You know, some of you guys may be going through a slow period in work. All of your friends may be busy or vacationing or whatever. Or maybe some of you guys have recently got into a separation, breakup. You just find yourself, or even like an empty nester, you just find yourself with not a lot going on in life, a lot of time, a lot of energy on your hands. And, things may have come to a standstill. Things may be feeling slow. Okay, so what you're ready to hear is that this time is actually a gift. And there's a very potent magic and manifestation that I am seeing in your near future that you have access to. So what I'm feeling you need to hear right now, that you're ready to hear right now, there's a real danger here, guys. A danger of you viewing this situation incorrectly. So for example, let's just say you're an empty nester now, or you just got into a breakup. You know, your house is empty. You're by yourself and you don't know what to do with yourself. And so you find yourself in these emotional states of being where you're like, man, I just have no one. There's nothing to do. Blah, 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 blah. What am I going to do? All alone, and you may spiral negatively emotionally. What if we reframe your mind though? And instead of viewing it like that, you view it as, I have all of this time to myself finally. Wow, I can finally really become obsessed with my goals and change everything. What I'm feeling is an obsession emerging, a positive obsession emerging, group number 2. This is the time for you to write that book you've been talking about. This is the time for you to start that business or promote that business. This is the time for you, if you're a YouTuber, to push out videos every single day and become obsessed with it and never stop. This is your time to to train for that race. This is your time to become obsessed with something. Spirit has removed the distractions from your life, the toxicity from your life, and the things in your life that are simply just going off on their own journey now. This is a time for you. That's what you're ready to hear. This is a time for you. This is a time of great magic and potency. We have community coming out in reverse. Exactly. You may find yourself feeling quite alone. That aloneness is a gift. It is not the universe torturing you. It is not a curse, okay? Now, when these cards, this is from the Wisdom of the Oracle, when they come out in reverse, there's a message of protection here for you. It says, be aware of compromising your integrity in order to belong. I just want to pause and say, there may have been a relationship, a community, or a situation that you are going to have to compromise your dignity, your integrity, in order to be included in it. So for example, if this is like a romantic relationship, this could have been a relationship where this person didn't want you to meet anyone in their life. They wanted you to be this hidden little secret, right? If you were to stay in that connection, you would have really compromised your dignity, right? So walking away from that. Or if this is like a friend group of yours, and they all planned something without you, despite you mentioning like, oh, I want to go to the Bahamas. Let's just say, I want to go to the Bahamas. And they all heard you. They're like, oh yeah, we should go. And then they all go without you. You know, it's like, if you want to stay a part of this friend group, you're really sacrificing your dignity. You know what I mean? So I am wondering if there's something like that, a community or relationship like that you're having to walk away from. How do you dim your light or change yourself so others will accept you in a group? Do you hide who you really are in order to play a role within the larger whole? This will never fulfill you. Now is the time to assess your willingness to be real, stand tall, be you. Authenticity is true self-expression and the only way to empower yourself. Don't be afraid to be yourself and step into the role your heart tells you to take. Making yourself small bears too high a cost. Yeah. So for some of you guys watching, you may not have left this community or relationship yet. For others of you, you have. But the message is the same. Keep yourself in the mindset of, this is actually going to be a blessing. All of this extra time to myself that I'm not engaging in this community, in this group, in this relationship, I am going to have the time and space to really become obsessed with my goals and my ideas, my projects, and the things that I want to work on. And being in that mindset of being excited for your aloneness is really going to allow things to take off tremendously in your life. So this is not something that you want to resist at all. And, that is the mindset that will give you the strength to walk away, by the way. If you haven't walked away yet and you're afraid of being alone, oh, if I walk away from this relationship, I don't want to date again. That's so exhausting. Or if I walk away from this friendship or this group, it's like, man, it's so hard to make friendships as an adult, blah, 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 blah. Guys, look at it from the perspective of, I'm going to have so much amazing alone time to do whatever I want. Thank God. That'll get you through. And that's the right mindset to be in because, like I said, there's some magic. There's going to be a lot of manifestation here for you. The Lovers. Okay. Making big life decisions here with the Lovers. Also, I got to say, the Lover shows that, you actually aren't alone. There are amazing people in your life who want to see you succeed, who want to lift you up. And if you ever do feel those pangs of loneliness, there are people here for you. We have the King of Cups. Wow, King of Cups next to the Lovers. Usually this is a beautiful relationship in your life that will deepen, actually, as a result of you walking away from toxic dynamics, or like somebody was here all along that you didn't even really pay much mind to. We have the High Priestess in reverse. Yeah, your intuition is really guiding you to embrace your aloneness and to embrace the quiet side of life. I don't know. I'm just thinking in my mind, sometimes authors, they'll like go to a cabin in the woods alone and just write and get into that magical alone time, free from distraction. What if you had a whole season of your life like that? But that's what's trying to come in, but you're kind of resisting it. The universe is trying to get you to enjoy your solitude, your hermitude. But you may have been resisting it. We have the 10 of Cups in reverse. Yeah. Problems in community, family, home, relationship, judgments, making the judgment call to make some changes in your life. There's something here. There's something here about seeing someone who you were taking for granted anyways. There's something here about deciding what is coming with you into your new path in the future and what you're leaving behind. So for example, you may really no longer resonate with a group anymore and you're walking away from it, but there may have been like one person in that group who you always really liked and who always treated you with kindness. You may be bringing that connection with you into the future, but not the others. We have the Emperor upright. This is you standing or sitting firmly on your throne and making really good executive decisions about what's best for your life. And something that I'm seeing here actually with judgment, because things are quieter right now, I am actually seeing you deciding to revive an old goal or idea or project of yours that perhaps you already started and there was a lot of stop-start involved. Like, I'll give you a personal example. I signed up for a marathon and then I started like trying to build my running base by like running at least 15 miles a week before the actual marathon training started. I was very sporadic with it though. Like, I would have weeks where I didn't run at all and then weeks where I really ran way too much. And, if this was my reading, this would be saying, okay, we're committing to it again. And with this alone time, with this space, we are, I was going to say putting our whole dicks into it, but well, I guess I already said that. So yeah. We have the Page of Wands coming out in reverse underneath the Lover's card. So this to me does show an immature influence in your life, person or people in your life who did not really consult you in certain matters or keep you in the loop with certain things going on here. They may have really acted out in an immature way, and that may be what's triggering this period of alone time. We have the Knight of Wands upright. Yeah. There's a revival of your passion and creativity in life. We have the Four of Swords in reverse. There's going to be a need for rest and, dare I say, no contact for some of you, or space after battle. I feel like a lot of you may be resisting this message of taking more time for yourself and walking away from groups or relationships that compromise your integrity in order to stay in them. It feels like there was just a lot that happened there that you're needing to just give your nervous system some space to just detox. And something I'm seeing here is this has been so on and off, back and forth, like everything. Life has been so chaotic and inconsistent. It's important for you to take a few months, I'm seeing, at the very least, to just stabilize. And what that means is maybe not dating, not trying to make things work with people from your past who recently you have exited with, just stabilize things and get things good and clear once again. We have the Moon in reverse. There could be a lot of uncertainties because I don't know why, I just got the image in my mind of like having to be around certain people who you are trying to separate from, like having to be exposed to their energy. Maybe you share a workspace or a home or your neighbors, or you see them on social media, something like that. And that could keep reopening a wound or creating temptation to go back. There's something complicated about this reading, emotionally. And there's a lot of fear here in your mind, like, what's going to happen? Can I even sustain myself in the future? There's just so much emotion. It's kind of making this reading a bit clouded. But the message here, what you're ready to hear. All right, let's just cut down to it. What you're ready to hear is, listen, group number 2, you need to take at the very least several months to just stabilize, okay? If you walked away or are walking away from someone or something, don't go back. Don't go back for at least several months. Don't try dating or finding new friends. Give yourself time to enjoy your alone time and to really get your personal life as an alone individual thriving. We have the Empress upright. Yeah, you're beautifully in alignment with your divine masculine as well as your divine feminine energies. Your ability to do the right thing, manage your life well, stay focused on the abundance, stay focused on what's growing in your life. That's what's going to come of you embracing your solitude. And then we have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. So this to me shows an unfairness and inconsistency. It's like, man, I gave so much to this situation and I'm receiving so little in return. Like, I gave so much to this group, this club, this society, this relationship, and what did I get in return? Group number 2, what you're ready to hear is that sometimes life is not fair like that. Sometimes things aren't fair, it's not fair that that person didn't give back to you what you gave to them. It's not fair if you had to pay for your own college when other people had their parents pay. It's not fair that you have this health issue and other people are healthy. Life's not fair. That happens sometimes. And we can't dwell on that. All we can do is just let life not be fair sometimes and focus on what we can do to create the most amount of love and prosperity and peace and clear-mindedness, sweetness and good memories for ourselves in life, passion, creativity. Embrace this alone time is your message. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me. Definitely watch for your sun, moon, rise. Oh my God, I always do that outro. I have a second channel called Spirit Psychic Tarot if you want to hear that outro where it's supposed to be used. There I do readings for all the zodiac signs every single week and month and quarter, yada, yada, yada. So go check that out if you're interested. If you want a personal reading one-on-one with me where we talk in depth, oh my God, I just dropped something, about this situation or any other situation, the link to that is down below. I also offer my Shamanic life transformation coaching sessions there, which is hour-long personal video readings each week, and you don't have to make a meeting. You send me whatever's going on in your life through email, just tell me what's going on and what your questions are, and I do an hour-long personal reading for you every single week for that, okay? Along with daily email correspondence if you want it, and 10 shamanic digital tools to help you throughout your journey. Essentially, I created something that I would want in the exact format that I would want it, so go check that out as well. I am open to new clients. Okay, thank you guys. Bye-bye. Hello, group number 3, and welcome. You selected the Amazonite, and this stone is all about the throat chakra, clear communication, clarity. So there could have been a lot of clarity when it came to someone's thoughts, feelings, beliefs, what you have to do. You may have recently run into some difficult truths, but truths nevertheless. Going from a state of mind of being very hopeful, but perhaps slightly delusional, if I'm being honest with you, to clearly accepting a situation for what it is. And that's why you're finally ready to hear this message. Now, interestingly enough, you have Awaz coming out in reverse, which came out for group number 1 as well. So if you felt drawn to group number 1, there may be messages for you there. And essentially, this shows someone or something being out of alignment with you now. You may have been following someone else's lead, following somebody's plan in life, really trusting somebody, and they may have led you a little bit astray. Or if you were working as a team, a partner, or something like that with someone or a group of people, it just became out of alignment and kind of like multiple horses pulling a buggy, except the horses are trying to go in different directions. It just creates confusion and turbulence for whoever's on that buggy, you know, and it could be quite dangerous. So that's where you're at, but let's get specifics here. You have flexible coming out in reverse. This is a message of protection. So your spirit guides, your higher self, they're really wanting to protect you through this situation. You may not feel like things are quite in alignment anymore, and you may have accepted that reality after a while, but here's what they want you to know. Here's what you're finally ready to hear. When you or someone else becomes too rigid, you lose the access to growth and untapped potential and find yourself in an us versus them scenario. Loosen up, open your mind and heart, and see if a more flexible approach feels better. So you may be having a hard time. There could be disagreements with somebody. You're not on the same page. And this card is actually having you think like, okay, well, is this a scenario where you can be perhaps a bit more open-minded and flexible to the these circumstances? Rigidity will set you up for a fight where there are only losers and no winners. Could you find a way to bring about a result that is mutually beneficial? Meet in the middle. Spirit makes a great mediator. So very different from group number 1, actually, because in group number 1's reading, there was a situation where they were out of alignment with somebody who was choosing to make dumb decisions, choosing to stay stuck in toxic cycles and loops and all of that. If that resonates, certainly watch it. Now, for your reading, it is similar vibes where you're out of alignment with someone or something, but there's a less harsh reality here, and there's possibly some room for mediation and meeting in the middle and being a little bit flexible, a little bit open-minded about that. I'm getting a message here of not making decisions so abruptly. And so perhaps this is taking the time to really transition away from a partnership, relationship with someone or something. But during that time, keeping an open mind about like, well, is it possible for us to compromise? Is it possible for us to try to work things out? And if it's not, it's not, you know. There's something here about remaining open, flexible, asking someone if they're wanting to possibly just see if there's some sort of compromise that can be made, okay? Another situation this could come in, like let's just say you did decide that you're out of alignment with someone or something, it's not going to work at all, right? So like, for example, if this is a breakup and you guys live together, or some sort of disagreement with somebody you live with or work with, you could be trying to meet in the middle when it comes to, okay, well, we're going to have to see each other all the time. We're going to have to work things out somehow. So what if we establish a rhythm, a routine that allows us to keep at least a friendship? You know, there's something here about compromising. Like, okay, this isn't going to work, but maybe this can work. Does that make sense? So there's a message here of compromise and remaining open to not completely cutting something or someone out of your life that isn't in alignment with you, but rather adjusting. And that will take a lot of emotional finesse. I just want to say that. Okay, making that adjustment and trying to compromise. It's going to take a lot of emotional maturity from both people. Let's see what else wants to come out from the After Tarot. And you know, this could go hand in hand if you also select the group number 1, because the group number 1's message may be like, yeah, it's time to walk away from this. But then group number 3's message is, but is there a way that we can still preserve some of the good energies here or work together in some capacity, even if it's not as intense or strong as the original plan? Can this evolve to be something different? We have Page of Cups in reverse. Yeah, right off the bat, this shows me an emotional situation. A lot of you, this is a romantic partner, friendship, somebody you live with, family member, whatever, and it had a false start emotionally. Like, this is somebody who came in with a cup of love, cup of like, this is going to work out. This is going to be great for us. We're going to connect. We're going to have so much fun together. And it didn't really work out. Like, oh, turns out we're not good living with each other. We're not good in a relationship. There could have also been a lack of emotional maturity needed in order to maintain the good vibes. Okay. We have, Two of Cups in reverse. This shows a separation. This shows a falling out because things were not even, equal, balanced. And there could be pets or children involved as well, or shared living or working environments involved here. You know, it's not just you and someone else out of alignment and deciding that, you know, we can't do this anymore. This is also affecting other areas of life. Like, okay, well, we have pets together. We have kids together. We have a house together. Whatever, we work together, we have a business together. So like this falling out happened due to emotional immaturity, possibly somebody making really poor leadership decisions. You know, the decisions we make in life, if there's anybody who doesn't take accountability for those decisions, or they choose like, I'm just going to stay neutral and keep the peace and not make any decision, that is a decision. Usually, you know, by not making a decision, not best circumstances turn out. Okay. So, this is a separation, a falling out, not in alignment. The future trajectory of this friendship, connection, business partnership, romantic partnership, whatever, it's not going to happen because we're not on the same page here. We have the Hermit in reverse. It's hard though, because I don't think either of you want to actually let this go. I don't think either of you want to be alone or live alone or whatever. So that may be challenging, and that may be what's tempting you to be more flexible when it comes to working something else out. 10 of Cups in reverse. Yeah, it's difficult. Difficult living situation, family situation. We're going through a rough spot here. The Devil. And there could be some toxicity involved with the Devil coming out, you know, staying stuck in a trauma loop, for example. A trauma loop, by the way, is when things are really good, it's really good. When things are bad, it's really bad. And you're addicted to that cycle. You know, when things are cold and avoidant and the energies are bad, it really puts you into a mental cycle. Like nonstop thinking, being emotional, chasing, and then it's like it suddenly heats up and gets hot again and you're feeling good about it. You know, that's a trauma loop, that's a trauma bond. And there may have been elements of that in this connection, in this partnership, whoever this is with you. It just wasn't in alignment for something healthy and long-term. And now you're dealing with the logistical fallout of this separation. Okay, so thinking about things like, well, what are we going to do with our kids? What are we going to do with our home? What are we going to do with our business? We have to work with each other. We have to do this. We have to do that. You know, and it could be tough to be exposed to that high emotional level relationship that you once had on a daily basis. So that's why flexibility is being considered here. Well, what can we do? How can we compromise? Page of Swords, something brand new, a brand new dynamic with this person. Maybe something that you're wanting to pursue. Well, what if we just, you know, got serious about a friendship or cohabitated, even like as exes, or, you know, go our separate ways business-wise, but still help each other out. Things like that. We have the Six of Swords in reverse. Yeah, this to me really validates that sort of pattern of high highs, low lows, and just general emotional chaos. And it's like, this shows people finding solid ground. And what I'm seeing here actually is that one person in this dynamic probably really wanted that solid ground. The other person was kind of incapable of making it happen. And it led to like a runner-chaser dynamic, most likely, or a dynamic where one person was ready and committed and the other person just wasn't. And, you know, there could be a lot of empathy here from whoever was doing the chasing. But yeah, the emotional chaos of it all, it's just completely like, it's really dark, you know. There could have been some dark emotions that surfaced as a result of the emotional chaos, of the lack of certainty. Feeling alone. We have the Star. Yeah. So there's something here. You're not in alignment. That's for sure. But in order to keep your dignity, your respect, and your sense of self-worth, the dynamic has to change. Like, you can't just keep doing things the way that you have been with the emotional uncertainty and high highs, low lows. The dynamic needs to shift and change. I think you're admitting that right now. And there could also, if this is a romantic situation we're talking about, there could be a lot of sexual temptation here, which complicates things, especially if you have to see each other all of the time. We have the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, this, actually, you know what? I even think that group number 2 might be a good group for you to watch as well, because that reading was all about embracing aloneness. Okay. So especially if like some things have not been working out between you and another person, but you don't want to be lonely, and you know, there's another factor here, like you're gonna have to keep seeing each other for whatever reason. You may really benefit from group number 2 as well, which is all about embracing your solitude as an opportunity to really focus on your own money, your own goals, getting fit, learning music or doing art, whatever your things are, right? Like for me, it would be making a buttload of YouTube videos and going to the gym every day. Like your aloneness allows you to do that. And that reading talked about, you know, getting into the obsession of focusing on yourself. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse, cold communication and feelings right now as a result of being hurt from a toxic situation. Yeah, 7 of Wands in reverse. There's a lot of defensiveness, a lot of coldness right now. And there could have been insults as well. This may have gotten really bad. It may have led to insults. And that's really rough. It's really rough. That may be where you're at right now. And, you know, as crazy as it sounds, for whatever reason, something you're ready to hear is, you know, yes, this person probably really hurt you, or the way that the situation unfolded maybe really, really hurt you. But sometimes we have to forgive and move on. And, I don't know. This is such a complicated reading because I would never recommend anyone to stay in a situation that has devil energy. And, you know, it's a quote I've been obsessed with recently. I heard this in an interview with Mike Tyson. He said, you know, when you're winning at life and you're getting all of these like knockout punches and succeeding at everything you do, you're highly favored by God. But when you're highly favored by God, you're also highly favored by the devil. Now, I'm not religious in any way, but I think that was actually very accurate because, you know, when you carry a lot of light, a lot of goodness, you're doing a lot of things right in life. I do find that it seems to be at these peak moments where your success is about to take off or you're winning at life. It just seems like there are distractions sent your way at exactly that moment that make you very emotional. Like really emotional distractions. And this is going to be a weird specific example, but if any of you guys on YouTube remember Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson, they did a massive makeup launch a few years back that like had the internet in a chokehold. And literally, like, I think it was like the day before, the week of the launch of their makeup line, Jeffree Star's dog had died. And I know that's such a weird example, but that's a great example of how like sometimes when you're winning at life and you're about to, like literally about to succeed massively, I don't know why, but it seems like life oftentimes will send these distractions, very emotional distractions at exactly that moment. I don't know, to try to get you off your game. And the message is to just keep pushing forward and to not allow the toxicity to drag you down and get distracted. You know, keep working towards your goals, your dreams, choosing the healthy path when it comes to communicating and showing up in these difficult relationships and connections with integrity, honesty, and as your higher self, as your lightest version. Then final card out is the Magician in reverse, which is manipulation. You may feel used. You may have felt manipulated, but at the same time, weirdly enough, empathetic to it all because you understand where this person was coming from, and that's a very complicated feeling. Like when you can empathize with somebody and why they're acting out in manipulative and toxic ways, making bad decisions to remain out of alignment, you like, as much as you can say they're making toxic choices, you also empathize with them. And I feel like that's why this is hard, and there's so much like defensiveness and coldness, because it's like you don't know what to feel. You've been in this trauma loop, high highs, low lows for so long. There's so much love, but there's also so much chaos. And the message that you're meant to hear right now is to remain open-minded about how your future is going to unfold, and remain flexible about staying centered. Your message here is to not succumb to the devil energy. Devil energy is wanting you to get distracted from your dreams and goals. The star energy, which is kind of the opposite in my opinion, is all about basking in your glory and keeping your eyes on the prize, following your North Star to a T, no matter what comes up, no matter what demons and paranormal experiences and toxicity comes up. You're staying true to your goals. You're staying true to yourself, and you're not allowing the emotional fallout of this chaos prevent you from doing what's right or acting out in negative ways. Like, even if somebody is communicating to you in a way that's hurtful, harmful, toxic, you're not going to lower yourself to low standards or low actions, such as like just slashing their tires. And listen, that's hard for me to say because I'm from Philly, okay? So just know I'm channeling this. I wouldn't give this advice personally, but this is channeled message from the divine. You know, don't succumb to violence or, you know, arguing, coldness, and keep that trauma loop alive. Because, you know, when you respond to this with coldness, argumentativeness, insult, you're just keeping the high highs, low lows pattern alive, which is the devil energy. This is an opportunity for you to remain open-minded and escape that loop. You escape that loop by communicating clearly and accepting the situation for what it is, accepting this person for how they are, not trying to push them, not trying to change them, and just focusing on yourself and what feels good and is best for you. I hope that made sense. Thank you so much for joining me, group number 3. Definitely watch the other groups if you feel called to. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe if you've not already. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one on this situation, I'd be happy to do it. Link to that is down below, or on any situation in life that you need advice on. I also offer my Shamanic life transformation coaching, which is 3 months of hour-long weekly readings with me, and there's no need for an appointment. You just email me what's going on in your life, and what questions you have, and I'll do a reading for you every single week. And you have daily email access to me, and I'm just really here to support you. And I feel like someone, a new client, new customer, may be thinking about that right now. And I'm happy to work with you, okay? I basically structured it in a way that I would want to receive it. So go check that out as well. I'm sending you so much light, so much love. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.